Hey, Artie, can I ask you a question?
What?
What's that on your forehead?
Oh no. What the hell,
No,
man?
everything's a joke to everybody around here.
Are you? Did you read? Did you read the Darkhold?
No, fuck you.
Can I ask you a
If I
question?
could summon elder gods and evil right now to suck your soul.
Can you stop just for a second? Just for a second. Look at you. And if I can summon,
Like,
elder gods,
Like,
elder gods.
You know the head. It's fucking
you guys
like-
don't know anything about passion, emotion, verve, drama.
Okay.
You
Can I ask you a question? Are you waiting for a man named Quaid to come over there and rescue you in Mars?
Is Quado going to come out of? What was that you said? What was that about? You said that I don't know anything about passion.
Yeah.
At least I know what a preposition is.
Well, fuck you. I don't need to speak.
Excuse me.
No, again.
Bring your remote work salary. Buy a house with a few friends. Start business. Help rebuild the infrastructure by bring dollars there. By bring dollars there. It's
Another
also
thing,
help rebuild the infrastructure.
No, everything's a criticism. You know, you're like one of these
No, you're like Phil Hartman. You're like Phil Hartman, the caveman lawyer.
I exist in the moment, Vlad. I just go with it. I got my little dots over there in between.
So
every
if you're
one.
existing in the moment, how the hell did you fucking get an axe wound?
Because
in
I
your
was
forehead?
lost in a fugue of fucking COVID. And I'm drifting around my freaking garage trying to move some stuff because the kids were in there.
What were the kids doing?
My daughter had friends over this weekend.
And you had COVID. And you had COVID. So wait, were you sequestered in the garage like some like fucking animal? What? I mean, what
No,
happened?
but I had to go down there when nobody was here on Monday.
This happened Monday?
Yeah.
So play by play. What happened?
So I go downstairs. It's the end of the day. Nobody's in the house, the garage, blah, blah, blah.
How much of a fever are you running at? How much fever are you running at that?
Oh,
moment?
I'm out of it.
I'm
seriously, the aches and the I was in at my headache.
Did you have like fever dreams, like Aztec temples and flying cherubs and shit?
I didn't sleep for 2 days almost completely.
Right,
Over
because
2 days.
because the eye was keeping you open, awake.
I was nervous, Vlad. So what happens is I have in my garage, I have what are they called?
Kelvin.
You're smart.
Star Wars toys. Yeah, face.
I have cabinets, right? So I'm putting something underneath the cabinet, but I didn't realize how close I was to the cabinet. Or boom.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question though?
What?
You know what they say? They say you live by the sword and you die by the sword. Were you putting away either your Yeezy sneakers or your Star Wars toys, and that's what did it?
I was cleaning up kids. We have like stupid stuff the kids could take in the backyard, you know.
You were cleaning up kids?
Yard games. Well, I would like to bury them. So bang. I knew the moment first of all.
Did you have the white flash? Did the white flash happen?
I did. I'm surprised I didn't go down for the count, but you know, I'm tough. I'm not like you guys.
I thought you were smart.
I am smart too. You know that I'm smart.
Smart and tough.
Smart and tough. Okay.
I'm smart. I'm the smartest one in the group. You just put that out there.
So anyway,
I'm dazed.
So
anyway, I go, oh my God, my head's I'm gonna have to go to the hospital. I just cracked my head open. I start turning around and I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna go slow because I feel like I'm gonna fall over. I get to, you have one of those bathrooms downstairs around the corner from the kitchen. So I go in there, I felt like crying, right? I opened my head open. Look at this shit. It was like
I like how you double team that one. You're showing it to us and you're giving us the finger at the same time. I really do like that. Okay.
That's for our looking better though. Probably, I'm sorry. No, I love you.
So did the eye come out?
Yeah. Well, I was doing this to see how deep it was, and the blood's just like going.
Like you said, smartest one out of us all.
Smartest one out of us. At what point did Clea? When did Clea show up and say you had an incursion in your garage?
But listen to how nervous I was. I was panicking in my head, right? Between the fever and everything. Guess how I cleaned it?
With alcohol? With spit?
Soap and
I
water.
took a paper towel and I spit on it like this.
What are you jerking off now? What the fuck?
I'm dapping it like this.
Don't you have water?
No, and then I just go about my business.
Did you say dabbing it or fapping it?
Podcast Cosmic.
Welcome, everybody, to the Podcast Cosmic, episode 17. We've been away for 2 weeks. Obviously, you just heard why we were away. So welcome back, everybody. We got a lot to talk about. I'm Vlado.
I'm Arton.
The jaded hat.
Flamethrower.
Before we start, like and subscribe, follow us down below, and also click on the bell for notifications. So anytime we get some Power Quad goodness up on YouTube, you'll be able to know when we get it. So please follow us and all our hashtags.
Your mailbox.
You want it in your, yeah, we want us to be in your boxes.
You want this package in your box.
Exactly. Anyway, so this week we have a ton of news to catch up on. First, we're going to talk. We'll talk about the Star Wars Vanity Fair article and talk about the state of Star Wars. We will definitely talk about the Marvel news that came out, which is the She-Hulk trailer that came out. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about. Can you wait a second? Let me get through my stuff, and then you can just sit there and fanboy till you're blue in the face, till you start hemorrhaging again. and then we'll talk about the news about Daredevil. Right, so that's a big one. There was some other news, and I don't remember.
Fantastic Four, Secret War,
Secret Invasion. Right?
Sorry.
Well, we can complain about that. We will kind of touch on sort of the controversy that, because we've been away for 2 weeks, about Multiverse of Madness, sort of some of the blowback that people, some of the fandom has been discussing, we will touch on something that Artie holds very near and dear to his heart, is that Pete Davidson is leaving the Saturday Night Live along with some other cast members.
Eddie Bryant.
And Kate McKinnon, which is a big one, and Kyle Mooney. That just came hot off the presses. We're a week away from Obi-Wan.
Eddie Bryant?
Can you wait? You can wax pontificate anything you want later on down the road. Not yet.
Hey, who am I, guys?
He is so talented.
Oh, here it comes.
He is so
all right. Anyway, and then
talented.
we will talk about. I'm going to touch on Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, which I'm really enjoying. And the less Keith and I talk about Halo, the fucking better, because it sucks ass. And
Did you see the final one?
Yes, I did, and it sucks ass. That was hard.
Do you know why Keith didn't join us in Elden Ring last night?
I was watching the last episode of Halo.
Really?
Yeah. Because I didn't get to see it in the morning. So
yeah, okay. So
yeah.
So other than
I should have played Elden Ring.
Yeah.
You should have played Elden Ring.
I know.
Artie should play Elden Ring and watch this open up.
I swear to God, I promise I will give you $100 if you just live stream 1 hour of that game. 1 hour.
I crack up watching rage quit videos of Elden Ring. They make me laugh because it's incredible to watch people die and lose their shit.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to do that. You know how many hits we would get if we live streamed you playing Elden Ring? First of all, there would be the period of time where you'd have to figure out what the controls are.
What's going on?
Menu.
Picking
your character. What am I supposed to do? And the game's not going to hold your hands anyway. So enough of that. So let's turn
$100.
Let's do it. And I'm not buying you the game because I've bought you games in the past and they've stayed in the shrink wrap.
No, they haven't. They're used as coasters around the house.
He doesn't even. I hope he was putting those games away when he hit his head. Okay. Anyway, off to Star Wars. Does anybody want to tell George? You want to talk about the article?
I mean, you know what it is, though? I got to tell you, every time I see these Vanity Fair articles about Star Wars, I always get excited about the possibilities.
It's a nice
I
cover.
forget about everything that gets involved with what's actually Star Wars entails, because you see Ahsoka, you see Pedro Pascal, you see, Obi-Wan, and you're just like, oh fuck, Star Wars, yeah. And then you just think about the Book of Boba Fett and the Rise of Skywalker, and then you're like, fuck. So, I get it's the state of Star Wars, I guess. I guess that's one of our topics. So, I mean, every time you read something about it, you're like, all right, maybe.
I'll fall for it.
I don't know.
All for it. I think that's about right.
Go ahead. Yeah.
The parrot kind of, which George said, it looks so beautiful. When you see
Production will be great, I'm sure.
when they do these magazine shoots as promos, they're beautiful. I mean,
Annie Leibovitz is the photographer, right?
Oh, really? She did them.
Yeah.
Spare no expense.
And they're really they're true promos. I remember the ones from Phantom Menace that were amazing. And even the ones from Force Awakens, I remember they did all that stuff and they looked really great.
They're always slick.
Yeah, my thing is so I've already disassociated all of this from my love of Star Wars. For me, meaning my Star Wars, that little bit of Star Wars that is part of me forever. And what I mean by that is I'm going to read them. See, that was a Freudian.
See, I think the bang in your head, the combination of hitting your head and the COVID.
No, but it
puts you in sort of
I'm going to disassociate and watch them and go, all right, this is great eye candy, maybe. And that's what I hope I get out of it. I hope I get well-produced, fun, exciting, action-oriented shows. I'm not going to lie, that give me some sort of at least artistic or role-playing, and not role-playing in the bedroom, unfortunately, but role-playing inspiration.
I really don't want to see you have sex.
Yes, you do. Yes,
as
you
Grogu?
do.
As Grogu? No, I don't need
You've been on the couch with me before.
No, I haven't. Okay. No, I haven't. That's your fever dreams. That's your fever dreams.
I think it's all it's like people, I think we were just talking about this a little bit before the cast. It's people creators I don't care about it, making comics. So now they're doing it with Star Wars.
Yeah, wait a second. I mean, do you feel that way about Favreau and Filoni?
It's not necessarily them, because there's still people in comics, in the helms of comics, that are great and good.
I'm trying to keep you on topic here.
No, I know. I think Filoni.
I'll buy Vlad. So they're only going to be involved with certain shows.
Correct.
And and basically it's going to be The Mandalorian and Ahsoka. You kind of hope that Obi-Wan's going to be good, because Deborah Chow is kind of like a protege of Filoni. She kind of worked with him through Clone Wars and all the stuff. So you kind of, you're hoping that, she picks up on some of that kind of love for Star Wars and the history and the storytelling. But, then you remember, oh, wait, Obi-Wan and Darth Vader are going to fight again.
Yeah, but where I'm going.
And I've also heard some other things about sort of somehow the secondary characters play. And again, it all comes down to story. Right. It all comes down to how it ultimately honors.
Well, that's, yeah.
But
because I'm already convinced, and without spoiling, and I don't know everything. Whatever I know enough is I've said it, and I'll say it ad nauseum in every podcast until it starts. I'm very excited to see Ewan McGregor be Obi-Wan Kenobi again. I feel that this is going to do him justice. I think he's going to act. I think it's going to be nice. I don't know if the story is going to serve the entire sort of saga. I think they need to move away from this connective tissue that they're trying to create. And again, I know that they're in this point now where they want to they're catering to, like, Filoni is that person. It's now the time for the people that grew up with the prequels, the kids that were our age when we saw Star Wars, when they were their age when they saw the prequels and Clone Wars and Rebels. That's all coming to fruition now. This is like almost like their special editions, like 20 years later, and now they get the special editions. They're getting Ewan McGregor back, so it's really sort of.
I heard he might be a secondary character though in the story.
Well, he is a secondary. There's no way you can make him a primary character, but he's there. He is gonna be there.
It's called Obi-Wan.
That Obi-Wan is a second. That's sort of the you've been watching. There are those rumors out there that they're going to do a bait and switch like what they did with Boba Fett.
Yeah.
That it's going to be more about the Inquisitor than it's going to be about Obi-Wan.
Mhm.
That would be tremendously horrible if that's the case.
Yeah, but I think it goes back to something else. Obi-Wan is pretty connected between the two generations, though. At least there's that. But I think going back to what you said about the generations and this being another person's kind of like Star Wars, I guess. To me, even when I disassociating myself a little bit and saying, let me just enjoy it as popcorn, like the Snyder Cut.
That was not even popcorn. That was
I don't know. It's 2 days worth of footage. I don't. But
you enjoyed it. You enjoyed it. Yeah, but Artie, what was the last movie you hated? Comic movie that you hated? I could tell you what it was. For me, it was Morbius, which I just saw this weekend.
Well, I'll probably watch that this weekend and I'll hate it too.
Fucking hard. It was horrible.
Anything with Venom.
Wait. Morbius sucked.
That's what I said.
Sorry, George. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, man.
You're fucking lying, man, because Morbius looks good. Jared Leto's in it. Fucking Michael Keaton. You're lying.
Dude, it's Sony's ass hattery. It makes me wait for Craven so hard. I cannot. And Madam Web, oh my God.
Fucking Bad Bunny or whatever the fuck his name is. That's going to be exciting.
No. It's Psycho Bunny. Psycho Bunny. The
underwear.
the shirts that are certain
shirts of right-wing fascists. That's right.
That's you, right? So you were saying no, but I mean, what was the last? Yeah, back to that. What was the last comic movie you hated?
Batman. After we discussed it the second time.
Maybe Batman. No, I didn't hate Batman. The last one that I hated.
Dread.
No, I hate it. No, I don't know. There's ones that I didn't like. I like Suicide Squad.
Wait, the Suicide Squad or Suicide Squad?
Suicide Squad, whatever the last one was.
Oh, you didn't like that?
I liked it. It was all right.
That doesn't mean that's not hate. I'm talking about you have a pure hatred.
I don't know if it's probably one of the Sony movies. You know how much I hate the
Venoms.
Yeah, they look terrible.
What about Wonder Woman 84?
That was pretty bad. I don't know if I hated it though.
Was I the only one that enjoyed Wonder Woman 84?
I did not like it.
I didn't hate it. I thought it was all right, but I didn't like Wonder Woman.
I didn't see it.
There it is. Anyway, back to Star Wars. So back to Star Wars. So like they talked about Andor, right? And that might actually be an interesting. To me, that might actually be an interesting story.
I just don't. I mean, I don't know if I'm that interested in it.
I'm not invested in it. Ahsoka, I'm probably more invested in because I think what Filoni said is that it's building towards something, which hint, it's Thrawn probably, right? They're building towards that. But again, this is not my Star Wars. Rebels and Clone Wars are not my Star Wars.
But the thing is, though, your Star Wars is gone now. You're not going to get.
Well, yeah, and I'd rather get a whole new story.
Harrison Ford. They had that opportunity and they shit that bed.
They shit it.
They shit it.
They shit the bed.
And I hate to say this, but fucking Jurassic World is looks like they're doing it right. And that
dude, I said this to somebody. I said, for fucking sake, they got the Beatles. They in Star Wars: A Force Awakens, you had the Beatles reunite and you had them play different venues. Thank you, Paul Ferris, for that. That's Paul's line. At least they're showing it in the goddamn trailer. All three of the originals with acting with the newer cast from Jurassic World.
But part of the problem was, you fucking gave the first movie to J.J. Abrams.
Well, the bigger problem, it's not even J.J. Abrams. It's
because basically his whole plot is Luke is missing. They have to find him. And then basically you just already have Luke out of the picture immediately.
And like Han and Leia, yeah.
Han and Leia are divorced now just to get them back together. I mean, just you could have set the tone with that movie as them passing the torch better than the way they handled it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm gonna watch the shows, obviously. Hopefully they'll be good enough for us to say.
The Acolyte was the other one. So the Acolyte, which is the one that they're talking
Which actually that sounds interesting because it sounds like a totally original story with an original character.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't have a lot of faith in Star Wars under Disney right now. I'm sorry, I don't.
I mean,
I think there'll be moments that are great, but they need even who was it who just said it? And I mean,
Me?
not you.
you
We're
don't
not
say-
talking. We're not talking about somebody who's great, and I'm going to put you into that sentence. But no, the Disney the Discovery Plus, the Discovery Warner merger, Zaslav, the new CEO, basically is like looking for a Feige for DC, right? Like, oh, that was the other news that we didn't talk about, which is
Wonder Twins.
the Wonder Twins. Thank you, axing that shit. Just saying, no, we're not going to make this stupid shit.
Why?
They're
Could
gonna
have been a peacemaker type of thing.
Is Zan or whatever the fuck.
they were going to use Archie from Riverdale. Thank God Riverdale's ending after next season, but yeah.
That's
And they
tragic.
cut
That's
and they
just
cut
tragic.
all those. They cut like, did you see like there was like a fire sale with all the CW shows? They
Mhm.
killed all the CW. Like Legends is gone. Not that you watched it. I'm still surprised Flash is around.
Versus
I don't
as a
know.
Well, they
movie
need a
series.
replacement for Ezra Miller when they go away.
Well, I know how you feel about that, Artie. Do you even care about the Flash movie?
No, I don't. I mean, I'll watch it if they.
I watch it. I think it's okay.
No, I don't think it's going to be okay. Here's
you
what
Did
I'm
you
gonna
like
do.
Shazam?
Not particularly.
Did you hate it?
I didn't hate it. I don't hate things. I'm not like you guys. I don't go crazy.
Oh,
I don't
fucking
go off the deep
shit.
end.
Look,
Are
look,
you
can I ask you a
really?
question? Why
Dread.
do you fucking say bullshit like that when all he has to do is go through Facebook and pull something up? Just a random thing, and it'll be like, fuck these cooks.
He doesn't hate comic book
Variety,
stuff.
Complex and whatever.
Comic
Wait,
book,
no, that is not
movies.
that. Oh, he doesn't hate
Movies.
comic book movies, but he does hate Iron Fist
Oh, yeah.
number one.
Oh man, did he?
He hated Iron Fist
That's
number
a
one.
comic book. That doesn't count.
That doesn't count. Should we
No,
move on?
I think those shows
Catwoman
brought
with
their
Halle
course.
Berry?
Catwoman with Halle Berry. Okay.
Yeah, I
That-
hated that. That was, but going back to the shows, I think. those
What's
shows-
your least favorite MCU movie?
Uh,
You have 30 seconds.
Jesus Christ.
It's probably one of the Iron Mans.
Iron Man 3 or Iron Man 2?
Probably Iron Man 2. The three. The
You
three
like
had the
3?
kid.
The kid and the quote unquote Mandarin.
Trying to remember. Probably Iron Man 3.
Really? Oh.
You like that less than the Hulk? The Incredible Hulk?
That's a Marvel movie. That's an MCU movie.
Holy fuck. Oh, hand in your card. Hand in your fucking card.
Which
Anyway.
one is that one? The
Edward Norton.
that was
Stark shows up at the end.
yeah. that
deals
was
with
pretty-
Ross.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Okay.
And that was they still
Thor: The
haven't
Dark
gotten-
World.
They
Thor: The
haven't
Dark.
even- Yeah, I enjoyed the Dark World. Look, anything with
I
tell
kinda
you
like the
what,
Dark World, too.
I think Dark World gets a bad rap.
It does.
There's a
Yeah,
lot of
it gets a
really
bad
good
rap.
character moments. There's some great world building stuff.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I mean,
Villains bland, sure, but that last fight scene was a lot of fun, I thought.
I like
why can't they do an abomin?
They can't do a good
I don't know what
abomination.
they
subject.
can't do a what about
I don't know what subject
about-
we're on. My head hurts.
Why
No,
say
but-
aluminum for a second?
Can you say aluminum?
Aluminium.
Aluminium. Thank you, Keith.
Artie, yeah, I agree with you though.
Fucking
They can't do a
fucking
good.
enabler, God damn
They
it.
can't do a good abomination.
He just looks
Abominations
terrible.
just look horrible. They all do.
Not the CGI is not as bad as Halo. Okay.
That's not saying much. We don't know how She-Hulk's going to come out.
Oh
It's
well,
gonna be
they're
fine.
well. I think they're calling it. What are they calling it? Uncanny Valley right now. Let's move on to She-Hulk. Yeah,
But what about that news though from the Vanity Fair? Going back to Star Wars,
sure.
as they're
What?
not going to recast classic roles anymore.
So they're gonna do. They did it with Rogue One. They got Peter Cushing. They exhumed him. Whatever they did it with Luke, and they're gonna
They did it
continue
with
to do
Leia
it.
too at the end of
But
Rogue
is
And-
that recasting?
And it's not recasting. And spoiler alert, they're gonna do it in Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but nobody cares. They shouldn't be doing. Nobody should go see the new Indiana Jones.
Why?
Oh, it's
There's
Indiana
no-
Jones.
No, it's not. It's not.
Dun,
Indiana
dun,
Jones.
dun, dun, dun,
I'm not gonna go. You're not gonna drive me crazy.
dun,
You
dun,
do
dun.
look
see you're
like
trying to-
you look like the little throw me the idol, I'll throw you the whip. That's what you look like. You look like that little idol.
No,
That's what, I'm gonna do that. That's my next photo. I'm
No.
putting you on that face of
Keith-
that idol.
Keith
Oh,
is
yeah,
trying to bait me there.
How? Dun 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 dun
Keith is
Done.
trying to bait
dun
me
dun dun. How? Why?
because there's no reason to do any more Indiana Jones. There's no reason.
Yes, there is.
No, what's the
They have,
reason?
they have a really great story.
Money.
And you want to
No,
tell
they
it.
don't have a good story.
Money.
How do you know?
I know.
Did you write it? Did you read it?
I don't have to write it.
Stop
I
shaking
know.
your fucking head.
I know. How do you know Pete Davidson's not funny? He's not funny.
He is funny.
I realize what you're turning
Why?
into. That
Who?
wound's gonna get infected. You're gonna turn into the leader. Your head's gonna grow bigger. That's what you're gonna be like. That's right. You're gonna be good.
I mean, his
Head.
skin's already
His head is
green.
as big as
No,
Sputnik.
but it's really like I read they're redoing something else the other day.
Oh yeah, shit. What the fuck was it?
And I said to myself, who asks for this stuff?
When you said that, did you say self or did you say Arton? How did you
Bastard.
say it to
Fucking
yourself?
stole my joke because I was about to say that.
I don't know what to do.
Hey Artie, did you watch the Pentaverate on Netflix?
No, let me tell you something. I was originally
Why? It's on Netflix, and you love
No, but-
Netflix.
shut up. Because I like
Netflix.
I like-
Artie Netflix for Artie is Fabflix.
Room.
no, let me explain something to you guys. Again, you attack me for being eclectic. You attack me. Where the fuck is he going? What the fuck did you spit up your fucking drink for, you fucking asshole? What the fuck is wrong with him?
I think you killed him.
What the fuck? What the hell?
You make fun of me because I'm eclectic.
He sounded like Gollum.
You make fun of me because I'm eclectic.
No, you,
Oh, wait. We
Netflix
gotta
is
take a
Russian.
step back. We gotta take a step back because some of our eagle-eyed viewers were asking us, what the hell happened with the dog? You were yelling on the podcast about a dog. What happened with that?
he's
so
around,
much-
He's upstairs.
He's not licking your ass right now?
No,
So you got the dog.
I don't even want to talk about it. Yes, we got the dog.
So did you put him in the back seat like a non-bougie family?
I'm not bougie.
That's you said that. You said because your daughter was asking to get a crate, right?
Yeah, we don't put it in a crate.
But it was your sister-in-law's dog.
That's the previous dog.
That's the previous one.
I can't keep count of your fucking animals right now.
You know, this podcast is really going sideways.
Yeah.
Because you
That's on
guys,
track.
Steve Irwin. He's the Steve Irwin of his animal kingdom. That's where he's got all the scars from.
That's from the fucking eel that stabbed him in the head.
I realize sometimes it's better for us
Irwin's
to take a
family.
few weeks off because we got a lot to laugh about. Anyway, go on. So we were talking. So you were eclectic, but okay, let's talk about eclectic. Let's talk about She-Hulk. What's the deal with She-Hulk?
I thought it was fun.
no, the thing is would have been a decent trailer. I don't mind the theme at all. I think it's, but don't put out unfinished, under-rendered. That's a DCEU move you just fucking did.
No,
That
I
is
think
a-
the problem is that they're using the Mark Ruffalo CGI from the movies, and compared to that, it's going to look.
I also think they got outed. You know, they got outed in terms of I think it leaked, inadvertently leaked. Not the trailer, but this release date got.
yeah, but I would never.
No,
have
no,
let-
wait a second. I think I'm not saying maybe that
No,
was
I
the
agree
final
with
trailer.
you. I think that's the right train of thought. Or reason or impetus or whatever. You know, I like to use words that I don't know what they mean. But anyway, I then you say, let's put out a trailer. Use as little CGI as possible.
But people want to see what She-Hulk looks like.
Yeah,
But
you can't keep it under wraps for too long.
it looked bad. It
It didn't look that bad.
It looked terrible.
No, it didn't. It didn't
for
look like
okay in a couple of shots.
Scorpion King. It didn't look like
Scorpion King was one
Yeah,
of
it
the
was
worst.
it was as bad as doing the Rock.
wasn't. You
No,
Yes,
come
it was.
on.
No, of course it
Listen,
wasn't. But it looked
Watto.
like bad
First of all,
CGI
think
from.
this
It looked
fucking
like Venom, Morbius, that kind of bullshit.
No, really?
Yeah, it's terrible. It was terrible. There was no reason to me. Like, although you say, "Oh, we need to see her," I want to see her too. But I want to
They
see
put her in
in
the purple onesie?
glory.
Yeah, there's a scene the first time you see her, she's wearing, like
Purple onesie, okay.
she's wearing the sneakers
I
and
got the hair
purple.
looked pretty good.
You know what I noticed? If you noticed, jaded hat.
Yeah.
I know me and you could speak in this language together, visual.
You know what he likes the most? Just so you know, he likes looking down at you and talking to you now. He's
No.
going like this, like all of a sudden he's talking to an underling.
No,
That's
no.
really nice and
Keith,
really condescending.
Seriously.
You know what Artie's favorite band is currently? Third Eye.
Third Eye Blind.
Oh, the jokes are just going to keep coming. Here come the
Oh,
hits.
yeah.
But I'm bummed.
That's how you tell. That's how you tell.
From
No,
the
I mean,
unforgiving scumbag. That's what I'm going to get.
The CGI
can I-
not great, but yeah.
Keith, if you look at really take a look at it, you're going to see that it looks disconnected or layered on the screen.
No,
just
it's
look at it.
it's off.
I
Yeah,
noticed that. I'm
it
looking at
looks-
it going, it actually bothered me. That's
How
why-
did you look at it?
Here we come. Just make the monkey in the box music, right?
I think it's tough though because they're trying to make her look.
Speaking of monkeys, we have a case of monkeypox up here.
Oh,
Wait,
man.
Keith and I were talking. Keith, you were saying?
No, I think it's a tricky one
Nodding his head.
to get it right. I think it's a tricky one to get right. I think we'll see. I mean, maybe they'll polish it up a little bit before they're finished, but I think what we saw is what we're going to get.
Did you think the anatomy looked wonky at all? I thought it did.
Both.
I wasn't horrible at times, but I mean,
her bottoms.
I didn't really stop the film and really give a look too hard about it. I mean, I saw it maybe twice so far, and I'll wait till it comes out. I'll watch it because it looks dopey.
It's the horniest MCU title of all
Yeah,
time.
I think it's going to be fun. And
It was really fun that she picked you up at the end with the fries and carried you off of the screen.
I think it's going to be comic.
No, that's not true because he would have been like this big.
Yeah, well, the
Yeah.
comic was dopey at one point. It's
Yeah,
kinda-
I
It
think
was
like-
sort of, wasn't it the third? Wasn't there
Yeah,
the sort
like
of the fourth
Deadpool.
wall?
Breaking the fourth
It
wall.
had
Deadpool,
some
yeah.
of that. It was self-aware.
It was a really well done comic book, the one that Dan Slott wrote.
Yep, excellent one. Excellent.
And
And
is that
that's
the one
what they're
they're basing
basing
off?
this off of. So I think it's going to be fun. I think you guys are just assholes and just want to be contrarians just for the sake of being
I
contrarian.
want to love it. I'm just saying they shouldn't.
No,
have
we're gonna have records of this about how he's saying about it right now, and then when it comes out, I love this.
Right,
It's
but I'm not saying-
amazing.
When have I said I'm not going to love it?
Character.
I'm not saying it's not going to be bad.
Was that Thundera in it? Was it
Yes.
Thunder? Thundera? Is that her name?
Thunder.
Yeah,
And the
Thundera.
Frogman.
Yeah, Thundera.
Abomination was in it.
What's his
You
name?
got to
Brian?
fix that CGI. They will not be able to pass the mustard with her sexiness, the appeal,
They're gonna pass the mustard.
the third
Pass the mustard.
mustard.
Muster.
What'd I say?
Mustard
Mustard.
sounds good though.
I'm looking at the medical dictionary and sort of symptoms of a concussion. And slurring of words is one of the things.
But Vlad, can I tell you one thing? If that's the case, then he's had a concussion for 17 episodes.
Yes, it's wonderful watching him degenerate, right? No, but I mean, so
He's
do you?
in a wheelchair and running for Congress like somebody in North Carolina?
Can they just lose?
Shit. Or he'll become Professor X.
Up
Uh,
here. Up here.
Up here. To me, not to me, my X-Men. Up there. Do you think Matt
Cyclops, Professor X?
Cyclops?
Triclops.
Mm.
Yeah. We're not going to call you Triclops. Now you look like what's her name? Now you look like Sabathun. You got the three. from Destiny. I don't follow this story. I don't know what's
Eris
going on.
Morn.
Eris Morn. Oh. Anyway, back to She-Hulk. Is Matt Murdock going to be in it?
Yes.
It's the rumor.
Which
I
leads
think
us
so.
to
I
the
think
big news
they'll
that,
make for a funny courtroom scene.
Yeah.
and this is a comedy. This is a straight up comedy, right? That's the whole thing.
Half-hour episodes, right? So
Da-da-da-da-da-da. What was the last one that was half hour? Any of the Marvels have been half hour?
I think
What
they did
ifs?
30 minutes and then 40 minutes.
The what ifs I thought were half hours, right?
yes,
Yeah, I
they were
mean-
half-hour.
WandaVision, I think, was half hour, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was like it pushed it to the 40-minute range, I think, a few times.
I think in the
look-
beginning though it was 30 minutes.
Glad I'll have to research that.
And the big news, obviously, is not good for you. And the big news now is also that now Daredevil, that it's going to happen.
That's awesome.
Which I'm curious to see how it picks up, and I really hope.
I want to see how they pull it off. I really do. That's going to be.
Yeah,
That is really interesting.
something because the outlook doesn't look good that they're going to do a really good job pulling it off.
Why?
That's what you say. I mean,
Why do you say that?
George, come on, back it up. Why?
This
I
is-
don't know. There's what evidence do we have that Marvel could back it up? With their TV shows, we have no evidence because, they're very hit or miss when it comes to the programming.
No, they've been really excellent.
Have they been more excellent than Netflix?
Which train
Yeah,
would
for
you
what
rather
they
ride?
produce, I think so. I think what Netflix offers is just a
It's more-
smorgasbord.
Nice.
A cornucopia of content.
Wait. You know what
Put
offended
some
me
mustard
more
on
than
that.
the thing that offended me more than anything is a cornucopia, and I hear nice. It's like, seriously, dude, nice.
Nice.
If he said it, they offer a tasty shit sandwich. Nice. It's like,
I was watching Bridgerton, and goodness gracious, that actor's really attractive.
holy smokes.
Holy shit.
That's bananas.
That's bananas. So there's not much. All they have is writers right now and showrunners, right? They're plan, right? But then the other news was at the upfronts, they talked about Secret Invasion.
Yes.
Not being connected or
No,
No.
it is connected. They're saying that it's happening during
That's
the
right.
blip, which that big issue becomes then.
Who
Are
is
they
it?
retconning Maria Hill and dusting Maria Hill and no?
No. Because the assumption is that it was Talos and another Skrull on Earth while Nick Fury and Maria were in space, as evidenced in Spider-Man.
That'll be that's really an interesting how.
That's why
again,
Talos is in the show. So
just like I said about Daredevil, I'm going to really.
Did they
see
take
how
over
pull
when
this off.
they were blipped out?
yes, that's my assumption. Because
Yep.
remember, was it Far From Home? Nick Fury was in space.
Right.
Like he's in space and we still don't know what's going on up there. He's
Right.
working with Sword, right?
Right. So I'm assuming that it was Talos and another Skrull that got blipped while the real Nick Fury was.
My concern is that they're still kind of trying to fill the gaps as opposed to moving forward. We've told those stories, right?
But the thing is, does it matter if the TV series are kind of in the periphery and movies kind of move the narrative forward?
Well, you can argue, and this is what I think, Pete, that this is, and we'll talk about it when we go back to talking about Multiverse of Madness. I think people don't realize how connected WandaVision is to Multiverse of Madness. Like
Yeah.
it's a prerequisite.
Yeah.
Like people are still like, oh, I'm pissed because of what happened at the end. I was talking to a friend of mine and he's like, well, I'm like, what they did with her. It's like, what do you mean what they did with her? It was pretty laid out pretty clearly by the end of the show what happened to
Yeah,
Wanda. And
I
that's sort of the
yeah.
disconnect. That's the disconnect. And I think we'll talk about it. I don't want to because we still need to.
I think it's going to be a good show. Again,
No, really?
Yeah, I don't think Marvel's done anything. The Marvel Disney Plus shows have done no wrong. They
Except
haven't
for She-Hulk.
showed us anything from this yet, right? So there's nothing to say, hey guys, it doesn't look good. Something looks off.
But the thing is, my thing that's been bothering me, and it seems to be like a lot of weird like internet sites. It's been like Ms. Marvel is a mess and Marvel's scrambling. She-Hulk is a mess. Marvel's scrambling. But it's like, and it's always like those same two sites that are posting this kind of shit.
Oh, Comics Gators.
Probably, what is it? That big freaking robot site, which is also
giant freaking
whatever the hell
robot.
it is. Giant racist robots, whatever they're called.
Oh, look, there's a woman. That show's gonna suck.
And it's like from what they're saying is like Ms. Marvel is a lot like Scott Pilgrim, the movie.
I enjoyed Scott Pilgrim tremendously.
It's a lot of fun.
And I never read the comics.
Tremendously.
I couldn't believe how much I enjoyed it.
But you got to give a lot of credit to what's his name,
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright's one of the best directors.
Yeah, it was. I really loved that movie.
Shaun of the Dead is still my
Nobody
favorite.
even believes that you even saw it, so why even bother?
Shaun of the
I
Dead
loved
is still
it.
my favorite Edgar Wright.
I remember seeing that with my son, and I was like, I cannot believe how good this movie and fun and hearty. I mean, full of heart, and the noises, the sounds, the
effects.
the different people who appeared in it. It was great.
Excessive reminiscing is also a symptom of concussion.
So is delusions.
No, I just don't understand what Secret Invade, like having read the comic, the event comic, I don't know what this is going to be about. Is it that?
It's about an invasion that was secret.
No, I understand, but remember this in the original Secret Invasion, you had Power Skrulls and Super Skrulls and all this other stuff going on, and armies of superheroes fighting armies of super Skrulls.
I have a feeling.
It's not going to
Secret
be
Invasion. I think you're going to see tie-ins. Here's really where you're going to start seeing more connective tissue. I think you're going to see connective tissue with Miss Marvel, into the Marvels, and Secret Invasion. And remember at the end of WandaVision, because you have Monica Rambeau being pulled into Axe at the end of WandaVision. Everybody forgets that also happens because you have the whole thing going on with Wanda. So you're going to have her going there. Miss Marvel is somehow connected because it's all part of the cosmic stuff, right? Now, I if I'm a betting man, I don't think Guardians is going to tie into that in any sort of way. I think those are your three connective tissue.
Shield. I think this is a whole Shield centric.
Well, sword, shield. Yeah. So those things are kind of there. So I think you're going to see that. So
I think they're really keeping things really close to the vest. And, I think there's the possibility that maybe this phase will not have like a big bad like Thanos. I mean, maybe Kang will be popping up, because the rumor is that Kang will be different iterations of Kang will be popping up throughout.
Well, definitely in Quantum Mania, right?
Yeah.
So the question becomes, and it's been discussed. I know we talked about it the last time. It's a nice segue into Multiverse of Madness. That unlike the comic, is the incursions that are coming up in Secret Wars. Doom was sort of instrumental in that. Obviously, he hasn't been introduced yet. Are they going to make Kang sort of play the Doom role?
No.
Why would you say
Doom
not?
was not instrumental in the incursions at all.
Not the incursions, but in Secret Wars.
Yeah, but he comes in towards the tail end of it.
But he's in Secret Wars itself.
Yeah, but that's how I would think that's how they're going to reveal him in it. I think they can make Kang integral, not instead of Doom. Doom is going to take I think Doom and his reveal is in a natural place, maybe towards the end of it or in the middle of it, even if Kang is involved in it, because in Secret Wars, it's really about the Illuminati dealing with these incursions. And
so do you think we're going to have a new Illuminati that's going to show up?
Yeah, I 100% think that.
Okay. I mean, what if you're a betting man? Do you believe that John Krasinski will be Reed Richards in the MCU Prime?
Yes, that has to. If they let that go, they cannot let that go. They have to pay any price. That's like $20 million
Why
boom.
is it that his casting as Reed Richards in Multiverse like so polarizing?
I don't understand why it's polar. That
Wait,
of
it
all
Weird,
people,
though, because I'm very
well, you know, it's funny you should say that, George.
polarizing the movie is, period.
I am too, because I think people, well, here's the thing. You have people that are not geeks like we are, which understand what's going on from the comic perspective and are really
I'm
invested.
gonna get mad.
Yeah, I could see your slit throbbing. So
My third eye is coming out. You're saying shit
That's,
about the
you know,
movie.
you know what? I just realized, now you really have personified your disingenuousness. You have your FB fam, and then you have your I hate people slit up here. That's what it is. This is your grumpiness. This is
You
what
need to
we
tell
see.
me
Right?
about
So
people
it's
not.
bigger and bigger as
Number
time-
one, two things you just said are crazy to me. Number one is there's some controversy about Krasinski.
No, there's controversy across the board. People do not they're not following the plot. There's people that don't watch the shows and go into the movies. There's people and not that a person didn't like it. I know somebody who really enjoyed it but was surprised that Wanda was the villain, not in a bad way, but it's like, and I think there's a lot of people out there that are invested in Wanda as quote unquote a hero. But if you go back and you watch her entire sort of arc in the MCU movies, she's teetering on the edge. Even I don't even know how to say it, but even her scene with Thanos in Endgame, where she goes, "You took everything from me," and it's tinged with menace.
Yeah.
Regardless of how you feel about
Voice is
Thanos, I mean, she's like ready. I mean, you're seeing her power just starting to come to sort of an inkling of it. You know what I mean? I mean, she could have decimated the entire. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see why people are so upset about it.
You don't
I mean,
deserve these
I
movies.
think they do a really good job.
yeah,
Like, in the
relax.
beginning of Multiverse of Madness with just her dialogue with Strange is like, you did this and you're a hero, I did that.
People were expecting a Marvel team up.
Yeah,
and they got the
she
opposite.
Lost. Like, she really lost a lot. Now that Vlad, you bring that up, like, I know it, but now I'm.
Do you wait? Do you know it, or do you know that you know that you know it?
I know that I know it, but
Wasn't she a villain in the comics too?
Yes.
she's
she was
gone
all-
through
And
our-
West Coast. What happened to her in West Coast Avengers?
Yeah, the whole
there's
thing
that-
with her children. With the whole thing with her children. She goes
No.
through-
West Coast Avengers. What is it? She becomes the alternate. It's the burn issues.
Yeah, she becomes the Scarlet Witch, Dark Witch, whatever you want to call her.
Mhm.
And but the thing is, even before that, she's possessed by Cthulhu. In the early Avengers issues that John Byrne did.
When she's at Wundagore Mountain.
Yeah, and she takes out the whole Avengers team. So it's just that's there. But what I was saying about the movies was, now you take for granted that our arc is tragic at every step.
Mhm.
From the first movie she appears in to getting with, learning to love with Division.
We have time. Say it. Just voice it out.
Just
Enunciate it.
things back to back to back to
Civil
back.
War, she's the reason why they had the Accords.
You know what
It's kind of like,
yeah, that is the one thing that I want to say to you guys. That's kind of now when you just said we talked about West Coast Avengers, we talked about those burn issues. It's really interesting that when you think about it, and you got to give Marvel credit, is that everybody here is waiting for the Johnny Come Lately story. The most recent stories are going to be the ones that are going to be adapted. These are stories that are going back 30 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And Marvel's going deep into some of these, like George, like the thing that you put up when you were teasing us about like one of the Doctor Strange issues where they kind of rumored it was Clea.
yeah.
It's like an old issue. It's not these current stories. These are
And what
all
they do is they kind of like pick little bits of it and kind of
right.
use it.
So
They do a really good job of honoring the books and kind of
right.
there's that love of it, whereas you don't see that in the DC movies.
Well, yeah, but also, we've all been sort of dealing with, okay, they're going to bring Marvel. They got to bring them, not Marvel. They have to bring the mutants into this, right? They're going to do a reverse thing. They're going to do House of M, which is relatively a recent story. It's in the last 10 to 15 years, right? But all these things about Wanda going bad, everybody forgets that Wanda was the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. She was the daughter of Magneto. She was a villain when she first started. So was Pietro. And they did that in the movie too, but they did it a little bit differently. So she had already made a turn towards the dark side, and then everything that happens in West Coast Avengers years ago, way before House of M.
Yeah.
So we were all under the impression, oh, they're going straight to House of M. No, they're adapting older stories.
Because going to the House of M would have been too obvious, and they kind of throwing you a curveball, but also kind of building her character and going with the arc that she's going through right now. And they're doing a great job of staying true to the characters that they create for the movie. You can't say like the character arcs for a lot of these characters are just random.
I think people felt also, and I've heard this from other people, not that I necessarily agree with it, that she's the stronger sort of character. She has more of a character arc than Steven does. And okay, fine. She's been through more, and you vilify her. You ended up vilifying her. But it's a tragedy. It's like,
but these Marvel movies, go ahead.
No, like you said, it is a tragedy because like her last 10 minutes of the movie is her with 838 Wanda and seeing what she did to the kids, what she did to herself, and her arc was just realizing the damage she's doing because of.
Wait, I'm the baddie?
Huh?
Yeah, that she's the baddie.
I think this kind of works.
Like she's going through the movie, she's obviously affected by the Darkhold, but being able to see the damage she was causing, and her character arc is really tragic, and it's just
agreed. I agree.
Yeah. But it also works.
The last 5 minutes is not a fight scene; it's just her realization,
and it really works. And the thing is, Marvel's done this before with Civil War. Think about Civil War. Civil War is a Captain America movie, but it's got a lot of characters, and it's got Tony Stark's arc, and it has Cap and Bucky's arc.
Yeah, but there's a difference there. You can see, and what worked in Civil War was you're so invested in both of these characters as good people that you can see both of their arguments on both sides. That you can quote unquote cast. It's a Captain America movie, but you can cast Tony as the quote unquote villain, right? In the villain role. But he's making a point because everybody forgets one of the reasons he's doing what he's doing is because of the guilt that he feels because of the kid that was killed at the beginning of the movie, when the mother is there and tells him, so there's, and Steve has his, his convictions for why he wants to do it. You could see both sides.
I'm not saying
Wanda's going full out.
I'm not saying it's different. I'm saying you have an arc that affects two major characters in a story in the universe, and it's not their movie.
Yeah, but but this is equally her movie as much as it's Steven's when you think about it. It is
too. His arc is kind of, like she has the more obviously tragic one, but he's also fighting against this kind of
stigma
of the Stephen Stranges throughout the multiverses.
Right. There is a tragedy. There's also, I agree with you. But there's a tragedy to his character as well. I mean, because it's almost like he's predestined to be alone. That's a hard lesson that he had. And then it's sort of touched on even in the last scene with Wong, where, at least we can do it to, we have each other, that they're able to kind of deal with what's going on, but they have people in their lives that care about them, that they're there.
Right.
Again, maybe I'm getting sappy. I didn't hit my head, so I better stop because people might think that. But I think that people are really invested in Wanda. They feel that she's for whatever reason, empowerment, or she's a good character. She's this, but you go back. But I mean, good meaning she's somebody you root for. Go back and watch WandaVision. Guys, if you watch WandaVision, I mean, when she takes Monica out, that's like horror movie stuff. When she's like, she realizes people are, invading in and doing all this stuff, regardless of her grief. Yeah. It's heavy duty stuff.
When you think about it, it makes it makes the fact that it was her choice and not Mephisto underneath, much scarier, and it just sets this Multiverse of Madness stuff into motion.
Right.
And
then
if it was Mephisto, it kind of robs her of her agency and her.
Or if it was Cthon, right, which they do mention in the movie, they sort of reference him
because the Darkhold does,
corrupt.
But like for her, like her whole thing was trying to keep her family together, like her thing with Vision together, and now that's extending to the kids.
Right, and we built it. Yeah,
has been lost.
Right, it has been from the beginning. It has been.
Yeah.
It has been.
You think about it, it's more of like a tragic villainy as opposed to an out and out kind of.
Do you think we'll ever get a redemption story? Because she's not dead.
So.
There's no way she's dead.
Yeah,
There's
she's
no
still
way
in the universe, as far as I'm concerned.
She's just gonna be buried under the rock, but she could be like in a state.
Oh, she's out of there. Come on, she's out of there.
You did see some like chaos magic, and it wasn't. And you could see by the color wasn't like the usual, where it was tinged with like a little bit of black. It was like that kind of the light color of the chaos magic.
And don't forget, there's an Agatha Harkness story coming, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's a cameo in there too, or maybe not. I'll be honest with you. I mean,
so now I'm curious about Clea.
Yeah. Well, that's a big one. That's gonna be that's.
Because if you look at, I guess I saw it again, Keith, in 3D.
Oh yeah, what'd you think?
And it was right. I thought it was a lot. I mean, they didn't do like shit flying.
No. They just give it a little depth, and
especially when they're going through when they're falling through the universe.
I mean,
yeah.
I rarely say this, but I recommend seeing it in 3D.
I do. I certainly do.
Yeah.
But the dark dimension, the ending when she cuts through, that's the dark dimension where he fought Dormammu.
She's the queen of the dark dimension. Sorcerer
She's
Supreme.
also Dormammu was her mentor, right? In the comic.
Her uncle, right? Isn't it her uncle? Isn't she?
Father.
Isn't he her? No, uncle. I think it's her uncle. I think it's her uncle. I thought it was her father. It's her uncle.
There's only some way we could find out, but I guess we're just
gonna. A lot of research.
Never know.
No, I'm going to look up on Facebook and find one of your wonderful quotes.
One of our viewers tell us below.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Hey, one of our followers, please find out which one is
you brought up, Vlad.
And then Artie will draw you his eye.
In its all glory. What were we going to say?
One of the points you brought up, I don't understand.
Okay.
There were 2 points we started this with that we kind of drifted away from. The one was people couldn't follow the story. People are idiots. Those are the same idiots that go, there are 50 years of continuity. There are 20 years of continuity when we started reading comics. We were able to pick it up and just start reading them.
The daughter of Umar and the niece of the demonic tyrant Dormammu.
Umar. That is correct. I should have known.
That's the sound your eye makes when it pops open.
Yeah. So I don't understand that. And the second thing you said was about Krasinski, which why is he controversial? Like,
I don't know. No, but there was something came out like initially. Why is he controversial? Because I think, and I might be making supposition here. It was a fan cast because it was sort of it was something that was pushed by the fans for a long time, and then it became fruition. And it's funny we should say that because if you run back and you read the Vanity Fair article going back to Star Wars, that's the way that Rosario Dawson ended up being Ahsoka too. Right. It was through fans putting her in drawing her up.
But also don't forget, Krasinski's been lobbying for this fucking part for a while.
Well, everybody forgets that Krasinski he was this close to being Captain America, and then Chris Evans took it.
Right.
So I think, and then the other rumor that came out recently was obviously more on behind the scenes. Tom Cruise was never in the movie. It was never even filmed or considered.
It was considered after the fans were mentioning it, and they thought
they thought about it. Can we do it? And then the other big one is that Daniel Craig. But I was having this discussion with somebody. I was, "You gonna be Mr. Fantastic?" My understanding, I thought he was supposed to be Balder.
See, that's the thing though, because people were saying that Daniel Craig was the first choice to play Mr. Fantastic, and it was just.
I don't see it.
But then like the whole thing is like, well, it was originally supposed to be Daniel Craig was supposed to be filming a cameo,
Right.
then couldn't. But then the cameo was never said to be Mr. Fantastic.
And Elizabeth Olsen said she never acted. She never met John Krasinski on set. So all that.
She took a lie detector, and we know lie detectors are, fucking.
But it doesn't surprise me because I bet you those are. Remember, they did reshoots and whatever. But I think we're gonna find out that things are not as.
Well, don't forget they also said that Mark Hamill never filmed anything for that season of Book of Boba Fett, and then there were photos of him with Rosario Dawson on the set.
That was actually a cool picture. It was her, Rosario Dawson, and Tamura Morrison. That was a cool shot. Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's just like, oh, he was never there. And there he is in this fucking Luke outfit, standing right next to her.
Yep.
So,
They lie.
It's just bullshit. People are just fucking trash. Anyway.
So, I mean, I don't know what I think it got a cinema score of B+. I think people are it's still making money. It's still making a lot of money.
Because
it's just surprising for something that was a really, enjoyable thrill ride that kind of delivered on a lot of levels. It was fun. And for me, like to hear like these kind of, well, I don't understand why this.
I think honestly, after you had a movie like No Way Home, which is arguably top 5, top 3, potentially for a lot of people, and there's a promise. Let's not forget that the trailer for this movie was the second post-credit scene in A No Way Home. So it was already anointed as the continuation of the story.
Or just
I loved it. But Artie and I have talked about this offline. It's like, but if you're going in with these huge expectations that it's gonna kind of surpass No Way Home, you're in for that. And then secondly, if you're in the know and everything that was supposed to be coming into that and it's not, people are let down. And then there's people that have no clue, that haven't watched What If, didn't really watch WandaVision, didn't really understand WandaVision, and they come into this and they're just like, wait, she's a hero. No, she's not actually.
Well, no offense, but I think there was somebody on this podcast who said, I don't think it's going to attempt to be anything like No Way Home. I can't remember which one it was. It was somebody that wore glasses.
Was it me?
And it kind of smug. Yeah.
Was it me? I actually said no. I actually said that.
You said that it's not going to surpass it, that Marvel's going to go full Raimi craziness.
I also said that what I said was Sony, they did a joint movie. Sony and Marvel did a joint movie in No Way Home. And I said that Marvel was going to be like, really hold my beer. Watch what we're going to do with this, that they were going to make it bigger. I was completely off the mark on it because
I was completely
off the mark.
Vlad had shared with me the spoilers 2 days before. And that level set everything, I think, for both of us. Like,
right.
I'd hoped it wasn't true, but it was to every single thing was right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because there was a lot going on. And then as you started getting about a week or two into right before the movie, it really settled in. And because we were expecting something really big. I thought that Marvel was going to outdo it. They would be like, yeah, Sony, look what you did. And that was the only letdown. But once I kind of let that go, I was able to say, look, I'm going to enjoy this, because at the end of the day, no disrespect to Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is not Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the alpha level. He's honestly, think about this.
Predator of the Marvel universe. Right?
Well, he's in the MCU. Frankly speaking,
he's the Batman.
No, he's the only A-list superhero, legacy superhero. A-list. Everybody else, when Marvel started this back in 2008, all they had was B-level superheroes that they made A-level superheroes.
Well, they weren't even B-level. Iron Man wasn't popular. Captain America was not popular.
Captain America, right? Thor was probably he was okay, but it was Hulk was the next one that was potentially. But Spider-Man, pound for pound, is the apex of it. You said it, Artie.
it's just see, this is why I don't read spoilers. That's why I don't go through any of that shit, because then it comes out. I maybe they did the movie a disservice by posting the teaser at the end of No Way Home. So
and then we saw and then we didn't share this with you guys, but Vlad and I had seen almost all the important scenes the day before. Right. And it was amazing. We were just like, holy shit. We had already been tempered a little bit. And I think my thing was, I thought they were going to go that big. I thought I was reading things like this guy was going to appear and this guy was going to be this guy. And I was just like, holy smoke. And the X-Men are going to show up and they're going to kill a Sentinel and toss it at her face. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be the best thing ever. She's going to fight the Dark Phoenix.
Or she was Dark Phoenix.
Right, I know. But I'm just saying that's how crazy my mind was going.
Well, is that really, I thought it was too good to be true. I really thought everything that was being told.
Maybe you should just stop reading these things.
I know that's my excitement, and I agree with you. Like, for example, not to trigger Artie, but like Batman, I went into it cold, like really cold. And that's why I enjoyed Batman as much as
Batman, nobody gives a fuck about Batman.
Well, you're not invested in the story the way that you're invested in this. And
Dark Batman. Holy shit, that's fucking original. I haven't seen that in 5 years.
Well, and again, you broke the mold with No Way Home. What you did, the audacity of being able to do what they did. It's
funny though. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's a joint Sony and Marvel thing." But then, if you look at fucking Morbius and Venom, is it really a joint Sony and Marvel thing?
No, but No Way Home. No, it's not. It's not. It's Marvel. It's a Marvel property, but it's Sony Studios, and they're ass raping. They're ass raping any goodwill that they have there.
You see, I think that there, like I said, there's people realize that the Sony movies are fucking DCEU movies. Nobody gives a fuck about it. They're gonna crash and burn on their own accord.
Well, I wish other than Morbius, which Morbius clearly kind of tanked and shot the bag.
Did it also tank from a monetary perspective?
Oh my God, yeah, I did. Oh my God. But the bigger one, but we can't say the same thing about Venom because again, it's a brand name.
But also Venom was lucky enough to come out during COVID and people were just looking for something to get out of the house to see.
Right, but the second
I think
one
Venom has a cachet though.
But it made
stupid comic book fans that think Venom and fucking Carnage are cool.
Mm-hmm. Did I tell you how many more of them there are now?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a whole Venom.
And what's his name? What's the king?
Oh, the Black King.
Whatever his name is, because I just saw a 2-set figure. There's Venom and what's his name with the sword, right? But anyway, I mean, look.
There's one with armor.
Yeah, right. And he kind of looks a little like Malekith, but he's not like Malekith, like the way that Simonson drew him.
I'm glad to hear he's wearing armor because Venom needs it. Does he have a Venom mobile?
But that's how silly it is. They make. Okay, now we're going off in a different direction. But back to the Krasinski thing.
This podcast.
Pay him whatever you got to pay him.
Well, hopefully he ends up doing. That's the rumor. No. They're saying that Bryce Dallas Howard is going to potentially direct it, and she's going to be Sue Storm. Krasinski's in it and executive produce and write.
Is she the one married to Ryan Reynolds?
No, that's Blake Lively. Oh. Bryce Dallas Howard is Ron Howard's daughter. She's the one in Jurassic World movies. She directed some of the Mandalorian episodes. Directed some of the best episodes of Mandalorian.
Okay, now I remember who she is. Thank you.
Okay,
you're welcome.
You're quite welcome. So she might be Sue Storm. It'll be interesting to see what they get for the Thing and Human Torch. But
they
Page is up for a Human Torch.
Who?
Elliot Page.
They're going to put her in everything soon, George. Keep asking for it.
Isn't the Umbrella Academy? Isn't the Umbrella Academy coming?
Yeah, I can't watch that. Third season. It's too bad for words.
The boys, the
fucking boys
are coming out.
And the boys season 3 will be here soon. Artie, you should catch up on that.
Really good. There we go.
So innovative. There, boys.
Did you watch Love and Robots?
I'm on the second episode. 2 great episodes.
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh, now
Really-
they're great. Before
Just
you were-
feed the monster, Keith.
No,
Feed the monster.
They're
Just feed
fun.
'em.
They're fun for what
They're-
they are
they're
for an
really
anthology
good.
series.
They're really good anime stuff. I don't like anime. I don't like anime.
Keith, have you watched them yet?
No, I haven't watched the
They're,
season
they're,
yet.
they're terrifically fun.
They were fun.
Vignettes.
I like seeing the different styles.
Yeah, and I think that's better than the She-Hulk animation.
But
What-
he's
what
gonna
else are we
love
talking-
it.
What else? are we
He's
talking
gonna
about?
love it. What else we're gonna talk about? So fuck Halo. What a piece of shit show. Right. We also should talk about, I want to bring up that I'm watching Star Trek Strange New Worlds, which I do recommend highly.
People seem to like it.
It's really good.
Where they
It's
do.
It says through a board yawn.
Yeah.
and Artie, what's your reason for not wanting to watch it?
I don't want to talk about it.
You don't want to talk about it. Okay.
It's not on Netflix, so I can't watch it.
It's on Paramount Plus, right? Do you have Paramount Plus?
Yeah,
I don't know how to get it. I don't know
I
how
have
to.
that. We bought that when we wanted to watch some movie that came out.
Which
Forgot what it
one?
was.
Where are you looking at?
Which one?
I forgot. That's months ago now. There was
Yeah,
a movie
okay.
that- it might have been Halloween. Something.
No, how that's Peacock, Artie.
Something.
Speaking of cock.
But I have it. I just haven't watched it. It's part of my Amazon and whatever.
It's not okay, whatever. So it's I think it's worth watching. I like Anson Mount as Pike. I think Ethan Peck as Spock is really cool, and it's a good show. It's good. I mean,
Okay, because let me ask a question.
sure.
Why is it that people are fine with recasting classic roles in the Star Trek movies, but Star Wars is where people draw the
No,
line?
don't.
Star Wars-
No, no,
because
no.
Star-
That's why I'm not going to watch it. Do not recast roles. Do not recast roles. Do not recast roles. Just fucking do not fucking do it. Crash the Enterprise into the fucking first asteroid it sees at warp 10.
The less I say about Picard second season, oh god, what a
Okay.
shitstorm. I hated it.
I'm not trashing it. I love Star Trek.
No, you're not. You're trashing it.
This is you got to take the Enterprise. with
Where are you
whoever this,
looking at?
whoever this crew
You're gonna
is.
crash. What if the captain of the Enterprise was Pete Davidson?
You need to warp speed it directly into 80 fucking Brian's head. How did she survive on that show so long?
He's gonna play
How
the-
did you survive? How do you function with 3 eyes?
I don't know. I'm not the smartest
Isn't it
person
Five
in the
Eyes?
world. I'm not the most talented. Obviously, I'm not an SNL featured player like Pete Davidson and Adie Bryant, who are going to be memorable for their stellar, incredible contributions to the show over their years hanging on there.
This is the Joe Rogan portion of the show right now. Yeah.
You know, Pete Davidson's such a cuck, and
He's an incel.
it's
He might appear on the new Star Trek as Spock or something for all.
As what is it? Beta. What kind of pills would he take on the Enterprise? What is that?
Dragon Brain Force 25,000 Beta Cuck Brain Force 5,000. I don't know. Listen,
That's your you made that up. That's you.
I didn't make it up.
that's him being nice, people.
And that pops up on my fucking feed. I see shit
We're
because
back
you
to
pop.
this.
Yes.
Listen, I have to wade into the social, ideological commentary of our day, the debate, to set people straight
No, you don't.
who don't get it. And
What
comic
don't they
fans-
get? What don't they? I wish that you take a couple of extra minutes and make sure you have punctuation, capitalization, and if you're trying to
We
make
don't have
people
time for that.
Vlad, we don't have time for that. See, thank you, Keith. We don't have time for that. We're fighting a war here for the souls of modern America. Fandom, comics, movies, Star Wars, Star Trek, where they recast people from the fucking original Enterprise for some reason.
go on, speak
I don't know. Just, be honest.
about what?
Just make new comics, fun comics with stuff. Don't recast the original Star Trek cast. characters.
So-
Don't recast them. There's no need
Aren't
to.
they recasting them? Because
Yeah, Lord knows how many times they've done it.
Yeah.
Do a satire show or something. Do Orville. Do
Orville's on
show.
Hulu. Orville's good.
Orville
Have
is
you
good.
watched
That's
the
what I heard.
Orville?
That's what I heard.
So
No, it's
don't sit there and reference it and you haven't
No, but I
watched.
give that.
Don't be a
listen,
What are you doing this for? Don't be disingenuous. You're talking. Do Orville. You haven't watched one goddamn episode of it, and
And I
you're sitting
won't.
there.
I can't stomach it. I can't stomach it.
You know why? Because it's not on Netflix.
No.
I'll keep paying for Netflix, a slate of solid programming. I
Hey.
always find something worth watching. ...
That is true. What was the rest of that?
That's it. That's all you put.
I didn't go
Anytime
enough.
you go past 2 sentences, that's when the grammar kind of falls off a cliff.
Kind of.
I have a lot of things going on.
Like what? You
I got to
spinning
get
a lot
ready
of.
for this podcast and deal with you guys. I mean,
That's
a lot
treat-
right there.
You got to treat your gaping head wound.
it looks much better. I'm not even gonna lie.
No, doesn't look much better. It looks like you.
Horrible. I honestly,
Really?
I thought it was going to start.
Well, I don't even know where we meet. What we discussed today.
We discussed plenty today.
Did
What
we
did-
agree on anything?
Yes, we agreed on plenty of. You see, again, it's
Did
again.
you do
If
anything I said?
what did you ask us to do?
Think.
That's right. You asked us to puree your food because you can't chew it, so you have to suck it through a straw because you're an invalid. Right? Okay. No. What? I don't understand. What? You look at him. Proto-human man.
But
Lex.
Bill Maher has a guest I really don't like tonight, though.
What are you
What
looking?
are you looking at?
Where are you looking?
No, I'm thinking about who this person is on Bill Maher tonight. Hold on, I got to tell you because we're not closing this thing.
The segment done.
This thing. What? It's a fucking podcast.
Fucking podcast. Everybody's so serious all of a sudden. Now you guys are professional podcasters.
God, listen to you.
How do you spell?
How do you spell what?
Yeah, we know that's a problem for you. Can I ask you a question?
You know, you're not doing any justice.
Question, Artie.
What?
Listen to what George has to say.
How long ago did Dr. Frankenstein put the bolts in your neck and shock you off that table? You're like just like, ah.
Okay, I'm trying to look at who the guests are.
Nobody cares.
You're not going to remember. Nobody cares what I bring up on this show. I never get to speak my mind. I have no freedom.
Never.
I'm stifled creatively.
You're
Nobody
the fucking
respects my-
talent. Shut up. We have to handle you like a fucking veal.
It's heartbreaking.
What's heartbreaking?
You guys are rushing me off. I'm telling you about some good stuff.
Do you want me to play music? Do you want me to play music to play you off? Because we'll get the hook.
Play the Benny Hill music.
No, we're gonna play the monkey music.
So who's the guest?
I don't know.
No,
Shut up, Keith.
I can't help you then.
And next time we promise we'll be back. We won't take 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank
even
you,
if he
guys.
shows up, in traction, he's got a fucking like, and he's wearing like
How great would that
he's
be?
wearing one of those like head stabilizers. He's
Oh,
wearing
man.
head
Imagine like you've
stabilizers.
got a full body cast.
I'm on the internet and I can't find who the fucking guests are tonight. I will fucking smash this thing on the fucking floor. Oh,
Ah.
I know what
Then
this
you
podcast needs today.
What does it need? No, please. We're not going. What does it need?
I know
No.
what You know what it needs? It needs a mute button.
Keith and I speak with restraint, respect,
Compassion.
compassion, empathy.
You speak for Keith. Yes, you
I
do
do-
speak for
But
Keith.
normally when he's not peer pressured by YouTube bullies,
Ruffians,
Hmm.
hoodlums,
ruffians,
scallywaggers, right?
you know, we're out here trying to be thoughtful, have good
Promote
conversation.
Promote positive
Yeah,
feelings.
and yes. See, and you guys are over there ranting and raving and going off and shooting
Lifting
off at
people
the
up,
hip,
not
not
tearing them down.
worrying about people's emotions. You guys are just
Seriously.
assholes.
Takes one to know one, right? Take care, everybody.